In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw our hydraulic fill tank circuit. So as you notice, I have the picture here for you, and I want your drawing to look something similar to this. I have given you the fill tank hydraulic template here so that you can download, and it has some of our blocks already in it, and it has some of our new layers. You will definitely need to download this template before we can do our drawing. Download it, just click on the three dots, hit download original, and you will notice up here at the top that you have your downloads. If you just click on the hydraulic fill tank, it will open up CAD for you and will open up your template in CAD. And then if you notice also, we have our blocks already in there. I have some ball valves, I have some connectors, I have a concrete floor block for us so that we can use some of these blocks and most of these blocks whenever we do our drawings. And I already have some of these laid out for us. I have the test box here filled out. You will have to change this, change your information at the bottom. And I do have something new to us. I have a notes that we have. So these are descriptions of some of the blocks that we're going to draw. And down here it'll be some of the components that we are using and what they're used for. This is a very simple drawing. So a lot of the drawings we're going to do in the future will have these notes on them, and it will have a legend that will show you what these schematic symbols are meaning. This is going to be a hydraulic print, but later on we will do electrical prints that will have those legends on them. Okay, the first thing we want to do after we get this downloaded is we want to save this as a drawing. So we're going to come up here to File, Save As, and then we're just going to make this our fill tank hydraulic drawing and not the template. So I already have a drawing file made, but I'm going to make another one here. I'm going to call this drawing 1. You will just call yours fill tank hydraulic drawing. Okay, once we have our drawing saved as fill tank hydraulic drawing, then we can start our drawing. I'm going to let you be a little creative here. I'm not going to tell you exactly where to put these. So you can put these where you want to, but it needs to be neat and arranged so that you can see it. So we're going to start with the floor. We're going to put the floor in. We're going to put 2 floors in. We're going to put one for our outside tank, and then we're going to put another one in for the tank that is on the inside. I would like for it to be just a little higher, just to make it look a little better. And then we'll add our tanks. So again, I have these already drawn for you. The large tank was the one that goes outside. If you click on this, you notice that my select point is in the middle. So I am going to type in MID and hit enter so we can put that on the middle of our floor that we already have in there. And then we'll do the same thing with our hydraulic tank on the inside. We will click on it, type in MID for the middle, so we will get into the middle of our floor drawing. So there will be our 2 tanks, and then I'm going to add a connecting point here. I have a connector in here somewhere that we will use to connect our tank to our other tank. So what I would like for you to do is put this about 1/4 of an inch up. And you notice where my selection point is on the coupling. So I'm just going to click it out here for now. And I'm going to come into our layers. And you'll notice we have some new layers here. And I'm just going to build a construction line here real quick. We're going to come from the bottom of this, and we're going to go up about 0.25, which is about 1/4 of an inch. And I need to go up in a straight line. So we'll undo that. We'll try again. So we're going to come down from here. We're going to go straight up. We're going to go 0.25. Again, I didn't get to straight up, 0.25, and then enter. And then that will be where our coupling goes here. So we'll just highlight this, and we have a box. So we're just going to click on this box and drag it down to the top of that. That will be where our coupling fits. I'm going to delete our construction line. You got to be careful when you hit delete and make sure you don't delete the whole thing. And then we have another layer here that is going to be our hydraulic lines. So we'll click on our layer for our hydraulic lines. We'll get us another line, and our line is going to go from the middle, MID again, of our connector point, and then we're going to go straight out. Again, I'm going to let you choose how far out to go and where to put your different components out here. So you can reference back to the drawing that you have here, and you can zoom in. If you hit Control on your button and scroll on your mouse, it lets you zoom in. So we're going to come out of our tank. We're going to go through our ball valve, and we're going to go through our motor, and then through our check valve. So if we go back to our AutoCAD, to the hydraulic, so we're going to go out of our tank. We're going to go through our ball valve, which would be next. And I'm not going to draw these for you. I'm going to let you do that. And then we're going to have our pump set, motor pump set. That will be next on our line. So you click on the motor pump set and drag it out here. And then we'll have our check valve. And this is our check valve, and we'll draw it out there. Now you'll draw your hydraulic lines connecting all these, and we'll come up here to our tank. I want you to be in the top. I want you to come down again, 0.25 from the top of our tank, and that will be where we have our hydraulic connection connected to our tank. Okay, now that we have our hydraulic lines drawn, it's time to add our electrical part of our circuit. So to do that, we're going to start by adding our flow switches. So I want the float switches to go on top of our tank, and first we need to draw a few construction lines here so we can line these up properly. And again, I'm going to let you kind of have a little bit of leeway in how you want to align your float switches. I'm going to click on the corner, and I'm going to come over 0.5 inches, and that's where my first float switch is going to be. And I'm going to come over from this side, and I'm going to go over 0.5 inches. So that will be where our float switch is located. And I have a lower level switch, and I have an upper level switch. So the lower level would be when the tank is low or empty. It's going to activate the switch and then turn on the pump. And then I have a high level pump that will turn off our pump. So whenever this pump is active, when this switch is activated, it tells us that our tank is almost empty, and we'll turn on our pump to pump more liquid into the tank. Now whenever it gets to here and it makes this switch, then our full level switch will go on, and it will turn off our pump. So that is how we're going to draw or put our pumps and our switches. So we need to delete our construction lines, and then we need to add our electrical lines. So the two float switches is going to go to our electrical box. So I have one of those created here as well. So we'll just click and drag this, and again I'm going to let you put it wherever you would like, out here in space somewhere. So this is where our electrical connections will go. Now whenever we do our wiring, I want us to come down into our wiring layer, and we'll click on our wiring label. So our motor has to have a wire that goes to the electrical box, and both of our float switches has to go to our electrical box. So I'm going to do one of these for you, and I'm going to let you do the other ones. So we're just going to start with a line. I'm going to come out of the middle again of our electrical box, and I'm going to come over just whatever you think, and I'm going to come up again whatever you decide, and we're going to go to our electrical box. So I will let you do the wiring for these two. This one will have to come up, over, and then down. I would make this one go in the middle, And I would make this one go on the top edge so we don't have to cross any of our two wires. Try to keep these spacings about the same as you go up. Okay, once you get your electrical lines finished, there's one more thing we have to do. We have to add our reference numbers over here to our drawings. Again, I have these in our blocks. You can click on a legend number and bring it over here wherever you would like to put that. Now you notice that is the wrong name. So we're going to have to explode that as we did before. And then we can change this. So you have to double click on the word part and your tag. You have to change your tag to 1. So this is going to be a reference number 1. So what I would like for you to do, or the easiest way I found to do it, is just copy this then. And then select it and then move it over. This will be electrical box 2. This is your ball valve 3. This is your pump set 4. This is your check valve 5. This is the low level, the high level, and then the tank. I want you to make sure these are lined up properly. I just clicked on there. You need to make sure that they are lined up better. You may have to draw some construction lines to get them lined up properly, and then change the values according to what they've done. And then whenever you're finished, I want you to update your title block here with your name, change the date. I would like for you to change the revision, so you can leave the original date here. This will be revision 2, and then put the date of the revision there, because you have really revised this drawing. You had the drawing originally done, and then you just have revised it by adding these things to it. And then we'll hit save this as the hydraulic tank, the fill tank hydraulic drawing. Yours will just be drawing, it won't be 1. And then submit it into Blackboard.